Akihito is a young photographer and wants to make his big shot. So he tries his best to find the most corrupt people in town and expose them. But his luck isn't very good, because he attracts the attention of a very dangerous man who doesn't want to let him ruin his image. Asami. He catches Akihito and warns him that it's time to stop interfere with his business. But Akihito is not so easily threatened. So, he escapes and runs to the roof of the building. Asami comes after him and tells him to give up. But Akihito smiles and jumps, managing to grab a billboard and escape. Asami looked impressed, now even more curious. The next day, Akihito goes to an old detective friend and asks him who is Asami. The detective warns him that Asami is a very dangerous man, and that he should stay away from him as far as possible. But of course Akihito didn't listen to him. He is even more motivated now to expose the entire illegal organization of Asami. In one of the nights, when Akihito is looking for his target, Asami comes into his view. But something isn't right, and Akihito realizes it's a trap. Too late though, as he is already captured. And now, Asami no longer warns Akihito. He goes straight to the facts. He punishes him in such a way that Akihito will never forget Asami. After 3 days, Akihito is released and meets with the detective, and he tells him that he knows that he is also involved in those illegal affairs, but he trusts him and he will not tell anyone. But the detective tells him that this is not a child game, then threatens him with the gun. But Asami quickly steps in and saves Akihito. Later, Asami explains to Akihito that the detective was also corrupt and was just using Akihito. He is disappointed, and Asami tries to comfort him. But Akihito screams at him that he hasn't forgotten that punishment, and one day, he will take his revenge. After a longer period of time, Akihito is undercover as a waiter at a party. And Asami appears next to him, joking a little about the fact that Akihito is now a waiter. Akihito tries to ignore it, but now he's sure that something illegal is going on there, if Asami is present. And because Akihito is really lucky, he manages to accidentally get his hands on a very important CD. When Akihito gets home and takes a closer look at the CD, he realizes that he'd better take it to Asami. But when he tried to reach it, the guards stopped him. And Akihito has to find another method to give Asami the CD. Unfortunately, on his way home, Akihito is kidnapped again. But this time, it's a person unknown to Akihito. This man is Fei Long, Asami's rival. He wants the CD. And even though Akihito tells him that he doesn't have it anymore, Fei Long insists and tests Akihito. Out of curiosity, wondering what is his relationship with Asami. Meanwhile, Asami finds Akihito's CD in the mailbox. Then he hears that he has been kidnapped by Fei Long, and goes in search of him. He manages to find poor Akihito, and get him out of the building. But in that same time, a storm of bullets from Fei Long also appears. But Asami manages to avoid them, and protect Akihito.